So Darren Watkins Jr. is 21 years old. He has 150 million followers across platforms. Expedia just named him their official global travel partner. Twitch is reportedly trying to pay him somewhere between $492 million and $600 million to come back to their platform. For context, that would be more than what most professional athletes make in their entire careers. And 4 years ago he was streaming NBA 2K to literally 2 viewers. Not 2,000. Not 200. 2 people. His mom and his friend probably. This is not a normal story. Darren grew up in Cincinnati, Ohio. He started his YouTube channel in 2016 when he was 11 years old. For the first few years, nothing happened. He was just a kid playing video games in his room with a cheap setup and almost nobody watching. By June 2020, he averaged about 10 viewers per stream. 10. And he kept going anyway. Which, depending on how you look at it, is either incredibly disciplined or just what you do when you have nothing else going on. Probably both. Then 2021 happened. He hit 100,000 subscribers in April. And then something clicked. His fans started clipping his streams and posting them on TikTok. Not highlights of him being good at games. Clips of him absolutely losing his mind. Screaming at his screen, breaking controllers, making faces, having full meltdowns over things that don't matter. The kind of content that is genuinely uncomfortable to watch but you cannot look away from. And it's worth being specific about what was actually funny here. Because it wasn't just that he was loud. Lots of streamers are loud. It was that his reactions felt completely unfiltered in a way that most content doesn't. Like he hadn't yet learned that there was a camera there. There's a clip of him playing Fortnite with a kid who was trying to wager him for money, and the kid says something like, "Please Speed, I need this, my mom is kind of homeless," and Speed's face just does this thing where he's clearly trying not to laugh but is also clearly about to lose it. That face became a meme. That meme became 1,000 other memes. And TikTok did what TikTok does. By June 2021, 2 months after hitting 100,000 subscribers, he had 300,000 to 1 million subscribers in 1 week. That's not growth. That's a different thing entirely. Now here's the part of the infrastructure story that people miss. Speed didn't go viral because of a stunt or a brand deal or a collab with someone bigger. He went viral because his fans did the distribution for him. They took his raw, unedited, chaotic stream content and turned it into a meme pipeline on a completely different platform. He wasn't even the one posting it. His audience built his marketing engine without being asked to. That's not something you can engineer. But it's also not an accident. It happened because the content was genuinely reactive and unpredictable in a way that made people want to share it. You can't fake that. The algorithm found him because real people kept putting him in front of other real people. TikTok was just the infrastructure they used to do it. By August 2023 he had 20 million subscribers. He hit 10 million in July 2022. So in just over a year, he doubled. And the whole time his content was evolving. He went from gaming streams to IRL travel streams. Which sounds like a natural progression, but it's actually a completely different product. A gaming stream is relatively controlled. You're in your room, you know your setup, the worst that can happen is you lose the game. An IRL stream is you walking around a foreign country with a camera crew, anything can happen, and millions of people are watching live. The production complexity goes up enormously. The unpredictability goes up enormously. And the reward goes up enormously because that's exactly what his audience wanted. And then there's Ronaldo. You cannot tell the ishowspeed story without talking about Ronaldo. Speed is, and has been for years, one of the most dedicated Cristiano Ronaldo fans on the planet. Not in a normal way. In a, I will fly to Portugal and wait in a stadium parking lot, kind of way. He traveled to multiple Manchester United matches trying to meet him. He went to the 2022 World Cup in Qatar trying to meet him. He went to a Portugal match in Lisbon. He waited in the parking lot after the game. Ronaldo's car pulled up. Ronaldo got out. Looked at Speed. And said his son had told him Speed would be there. Cristiano Ronaldo's son watches ishowspeed. Speed dropped to the ground. The moment got 12 million likes on Instagram. More than Ronaldo's own post about it. More than Messi's World Cup post. A kid from Cincinnati in a parking lot in Lisbon, living his most parasocial dream in front of millions of people, got more engagement than the most followed person on earth. That moment was not a brand deal. It was not a PR strategy. It was real. And that realness is the single most important thing about why ishowspeed's audience is what it is. People have watched him chase this for years. They were there for the failed attempts. They were there for the meltdowns when Ronaldo walked past him without noticing. So when it finally happened, it wasn't just a viral clip. It was a payoff. The audience had been invested in the storyline for so long that when the moment arrived it felt earned. That's narrative infrastructure. And it's more powerful than any media buy. So now we're in 2025 and 2026. Speed did a 35-day, non-stop US livestream last fall. 25 states, streaming 24 hours a day, no breaks. He did a China tour before that. 8 cities, scaled the Great Wall of China. Then a European tour. These aren't just streams. They're live events that happen to be on the internet. Millions of people tuning in live to watch a guy explore a country they've never been to, reacting to everything in real time, getting overwhelmed at every cool thing he sees. He turned travel content into something that hits like a sporting event. Which brings us to the pivot that actually changed everything. The IRL travel streams. The first big one was Japan in 2023. He landed in Tokyo and just walked around. Reacting to everything. Getting lost. Eating things he couldn't identify. Getting recognized on the street and completely losing it every time. Then India. Then Brazil. Then China. And the pattern was the same every time. Millions of people watching live. Not because they needed a travel guide. Because watching Speed experience something for the first time is its own thing. He has this quality where his excitement is completely contagious in a way that doesn't feel performed. When he sees something that blows his mind, you feel it. When something goes wrong, you feel that too. And in a media landscape where everything is optimized and packaged and pre-approved, that rawness is genuinely rare. His 2024 European tour generated over 2.5 billion views across platforms. Not total lifetime views on his channel. That one tour. 2.5 billion. Which is when the brand started paying very close attention. In April 2026, Expedia named ishowspeed their official global travel partner. They built an entire microsite called Expedia.com. They launched it with a 12-hour livestream of Speed doing a one-day trip through 4 Caribbean countries. Expedia's marketing team said publicly that they put no restrictions on him. No, don't say this. No, stay on message. No approved talking points. They knew exactly who he was when they signed him, and they signed him anyway. Because the whole point is that he's not a spokesperson. He's a person. And the second he starts sounding like a spokesperson, the audience clocks it immediately and the whole thing falls apart. So Expedia made a calculated decision to give up control in order to get authenticity. Which, if you know anything about how brand deals usually work, is actually kind of insane. Companies spend months on legal reviews and brand safety frameworks before a spokesperson opens their mouth. There are entire agencies whose whole job is making sure a creator doesn't say something that ends up in a headline. Expedia looked at all of that and said, we know who he is, we came in eyes wide open, and we're not putting restrictions on him. That is a bet. And it's a bet that reflects a much larger shift in how brands think about reaching people right now. The ad spend on creator marketing across the industry is projected to hit $44 billion this year. Not because brands suddenly love YouTubers. Because traditional advertising is losing the ability to reach people who have learned to ignore it. And an ishowspeed audience doesn't ignore him. They show up for him. That's not something you can buy with a 30-second pre-roll. The influencer is not the ad. The influencer is the media channel. And the reach on that channel is something a TV spot genuinely cannot replicate right now. And then there's Twitch. Speed got banned from Twitch in December 2021 for something that happened during a stream with Aiden Ross. He moved to YouTube and became one of the biggest creators on the platform. Twitch unbanned him in 2023, but he never went back. And now, according to leaks that came out in July 2025, Twitch is trying to bring him back with a deal worth somewhere between $492 million and $600 million over 2 years. $24.5 million just to sign a stake in the company. Neither Speed nor Twitch has officially confirmed any of this. But the numbers being floated are not crazy in context. If you're Twitch and you're trying to compete with YouTube for live streaming dominance, and there is one creator who could move the needle more than anyone else on earth right now, you pay what you have to pay. That's not generosity. That's unit economics. So here's what the ishowspeed story is actually about. It's not about a kid who got lucky. It's about a kid who built something real over 5 years of streaming to basically nobody, and then when the internet found him, there was actually something there to find. The memes spread because the content was genuinely good. The Ronaldo saga went viral because the emotion was genuinely real. The brand deals came because the audience was genuinely engaged. None of it was manufactured. And now he's 21 years old with a Lamborghini with Ronaldo's face on it, an official partnership with a Fortune 500 company, and a potential $600 million platform deal on the table. From Cincinnati. From 2 viewers. The rise is real. There's no ruin here yet. But the thing about building this fast is that the infrastructure has to catch up with the scale. And when you're a one-person media company doing live, unscripted, global content with no filter, the margin for error is very, very small. Stay tuned.